taking a look, walk and talk. Just walking through my building to go outside to the Distillery district. Nice little walk here. Yeah, so I was just getting my place painted, getting everything ready to move and head out to get so I can sell my stuff and head out to beautiful Columbia. But first, I need to sell my property here. So that's what I'm working on. But in the meantime, I would like to take you on a walk through Distillery District, through where I live. So we take a look here. Beautiful Distillery District. You can see, as I'm walking and talking here, really beautiful area really to live. I find that, very peaceful. This area here is where Tommy Boy was filmed. The movie Tommy Boy with Chris Farley and David Spade. This is where it was filmed. Also, a famous scene with the original X-Men movie was also filmed here. So, a lot of interesting stuff has been shot here. Let me take a look here. Let me flip this around for you. You can see the beautiful district here. You can see people enjoying their lives, including myself. I've been blessed to live here since 2016. Prior to that, I was living in Parkdale, Roncesvalles. So, got to get used to getting outside and doing this. I'm kind of tired. I'm hungover because I was with my buddy Dan yesterday, and we were, having a few drinks, really. Catching up. I haven't seen him in a long time, so I was working through, listening to some of his old songs. We used to play a lot of sets together, a lot of music. We did a lot of music together, so what can I say? We're talking about getting our Instagrams and stuff rolling, so I figured let me just do a walk and talk through the Distillery District. Whereas they say the historic Distillery District, hungover, whatever, it doesn't matter. Very beautiful area. Look at this. This is the big clock. Very nice. Very nice. Huh? Which way should we go? Here's the stage. They have music on every once in a while. It's always very nice. Balzac's over here, which is a coffee joint. Heading over to one of the bars I like to hang out at, Mill Street. Beautiful spot. Again, it's just nice, the cobblestone. Very nice. So if you're ever in Toronto, come through the historic Distillery District. I mean, it's not huge or anything like that, but got some great little fancy restaurants, French restaurants. You got a lot going on. So just remember that, look at this cool artwork here. Saloon doors. Look at that, going into the saloon. That's pretty funny. There's Mill Street Brew Pub, place I love to have beers at over here. It's early in the morning, so it's not really ready to go yet, but it will be later. Maybe I'll have a few beers there later. I gotta get my hair cut at 1:30, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I find it interesting paying attention to the, as we go through our lives, thinking about what's going on in the world. I always want to make sure to remind people, breathe, go out and enjoy a bit of nature. So I walk over here. I'm lucky because there's some trees and whatnot. I can go for a nice little walk. Usually I have my dog with me, but sometimes you just got to get out. Even in Distillery District, it's nice, but getting out and getting into the trees, getting into nature a bit is always nice because it helps reset your head. Here I'm behind the Distillery district, and anybody that's a dog owner here knows, this is a nice little secret place to bring your dog. Little dog trail. Beautiful, really. But it's just nice to be around trees and to and just enjoy, these beautiful trees and what it's like to be in nature. So, if you ever find yourself stressed out or, thinking too much into the future, having anxiety towards the future or, being regretful towards the past, get out in nature and, touch a tree, right? Just touch a tree. Look at it. Look at the bark. And don't forget that, the tree's here to give you shade. Doesn't care who you are. The tree doesn't judge you. It'll give anybody shade, good, whether they're good or bad. So don't forget that. So if you're stressed out, get into nature and look at the beautiful trees, look at the bird, listen to the birds, and you'll get a little bit more peace out of life. So, for me, I'm going through a big transition right now. I'm getting ready to sell my house, or sell my condo in Toronto, and, looking to potentially start a new life in South America. And, for many people that would be very stressful. And, and for me, it's more like, I don't know if it's stressful. It's exhilarating. I don't know. I guess I don't think it's stress. It's a lot of work, but it's also, I'm also finding myself, I'm decluttering my place right now. I have KP doing my painting for me so I can get my place ready and hopefully get top dollar for it so I can buy something in Cali, in Colombia somewhere. But, so yeah, don't get me wrong, thinking about it's a little scary, but at the same time though, it's kind of a relief. But we'll see, man. I don't know. Until I get there, I'll never know whether or not it's the right decision. And that's the funny thing about decisions. You never know. For example, I've been working for the bank since I was 20 years old, right? Almost 20. I'm not going to get into my age, but just take a look at me. I'm getting a haircut, so tomorrow you'll see me looking a little fresher. But for 24 years, let's say 23, 24 years, I've been working for the bank, and my whole life, essentially, my whole adult life, I've worked for the bank. And what's happening is I'm going to be laid off. They're going to pay me a package. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like. And I have an option. This is really what you call the crossroads in life. And I have an option. I can go start applying for jobs and try to get back into the same type of thing that I was doing. I had a big job at the bank. For many people, what I was doing would be, I would have already been at the pinnacle of careers, but it didn't really matter to me. I don't really care about titles now anymore. Titles don't really matter to me. It's more about quality of life and, and not working to live. So when I think about those options, I think that checking out another country, picking up another language and living somewhere where it's maybe a little bit more about the actual living versus the working, I think is something that I really want to experience on a real level. And while doing that, I want to continue to pursue the things I love to do, such as writing and painting, playing music. So I think this is a great opportunity for me to do that. So instead of just saying, fuck it, I'm going to do everything I can to apply for a job and try to maintain the exact life that I'm doing here, I've decided I'm going to sell everything. I'm going to go to another country and I'm going to give it a shot and see what it's like to live there. And I want to document my journey while I'm there. So This is officially my first walk and talk. The Known Wolf, that's what I'm labeled under on YouTube, and the Known Wolf 1 on Instagram. But one of the things I wanted to do is document the experience of leaving Canada, well, selling my place. What did I have to do that? And then documenting my journey from Canada to, I think it's Colombia I'm going to go to. But you never know, things can change. But somewhere in South America or Central America. And document what that's like, talk a little when I get there, talk a little bit about what the culture's like and what the food's like and costs and stuff like that. So that's going to be something that I would like to show everybody that, a little bit of noise here. Uh-oh. Let's take a look. At that corner, there's the Mill Street. I'm going to take you guys, this is beautiful Mill Street. Sorry, this is the Distillery District. This is the intersection by there. Really nice. Beautiful field. Now, a lot of people that live in this area aren't familiar with this one spot that I'm going to go for a walk. It's a beautiful place. I like to take my dog, Bella Lupita, that pretty much only the people that live here know about. It's like a lower traffic zone, but if you're a dog owner or you have a dog, this is the place that I like to go for a walk. Here's the park. Across the street from where I live. So like I was saying, the goal, not even the goal, what I'd like to do is experience another culture with a focus on quality of life and pursuing the things that I want to do versus keeping up with the Joneses here, you know. So I've lived this life in Toronto for I've lived here longer than where I come from. I guess it'd be 23 years. Well, 23 years I've been in Toronto. Prior to that, I was 20 years in Saskatchewan, which I also love. And I love Toronto. And we'll talk a little bit about what's going on here. You know, it is not quite the same city that it was prior to the whole COVID thing. The city hasn't quite recovered to where it was previously. Which, you know, and there's various reasons for that. But also, I'm finding that the cost of living is getting completely out of control, and not only in just Toronto, but in Canada in general. I was in Saskatchewan, I was going fishing with my dad recently. I bought two fours of beer. I think it was $127. That just blew my mind. $127 for two fours. It was crazy. And just the cost of living is getting completely out of control. So here's this beautiful street that I like to go down in Canada. And I was just talking to my painter, KP, and I asked him. So he asked me, what are the maintenance fees for your place? And I said, my maintenance fees, let's see which way we want to go here. Maintenance fees, let's call it right now, it's $450 a month for my maintenance fees. And then you got your mortgage on top of that. And then you have your property taxes you have to pay. And then you have your cell phone bill, food, internet costs, you know, on top of all of that. And when you start looking at it, you start adding up what it costs to live in this country, in this city in particular. You start asking yourself, for what reason? Yes, summers in Toronto are some of the greatest times that you're ever going to have. Always something happening in the summer here. But most of the time it's cold. And, you know, some people like the cold, but it's not really for me. It's not really for me at all. So I just started to say to myself, getting busy over here. This is beautiful walk here, huh? Nice, beautiful. This is where my dog loves coming for walks through here. You know, the neighbors, they really take care of this area really well. So I really, really love this walk. But we start talking about how much it costs to live here. It's insane. For example, beers. Going for a beer at the pub, you're talking about $10 at the pub, at the bar, or whatever you want to call it. Morning. $10. Let's say you want to go have one beer at Mill Street over here. That's $10 Canadian plus tip, so that's $2. That's $12. Let's say you want to have a meal there as well. That's probably $20. So $25, let's say, plus tip. So let's call it $30. So for a beer and a meal in where I live, including tip, is probably between $35 and $40. $40. So for me, I've just kind of come to the conclusion that I got to try something else out. Let's go this way. I got to try something else out. And so, beautiful area. I just love this area. Don't get me wrong. This is right around the Distillery district and in and around the Esplanade in Toronto. Beautiful walk though. Love walking my dog here. You know, I really love the area as far as that's concerned. Really beautiful. But just, so for me, I want to figure out, okay, you know, what is it, what is life all about? Is it just about working at a job that you don't necessarily like to pay for a life that, you know, has its pluses, its positives and negatives? Or is it about your life is a journey and you're on an adventure and you're the hero of your own play? And if you start treating your life like you're the hero or the villain, whatever it may be, then, and you start looking at yourself as if you are like Jason from Jason and the Argonauts, and you're out here trying to search for who you are as an individual, as a person, what is it that you bring, what's your unique genius that you have to offer the world? And you start thinking about your life as a grand adventure, then you start thinking a little bit differently. It may be that grand adventure might included a period in which you were working 9 to 5, doing whatever you got to do to make a living, and, you know, spending your time doing something for somebody else that doesn't really bring much quality to you. So I'm starting to look at it in a different way. So I figured, you know, you have one shot at this fucking thing. You have one shot at life. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna work behind a desk for your whole fucking life? Or are you gonna get up and do something different? And are you gonna explore who you are and try to find out who you are as a unique individual? Find out what your unique genius is. You know, I've written books, I've done a lot of different things. I really enjoy writing. But at the same time, I haven't fully embraced this culture of Instagram and YouTube, although I do watch YouTube videos. So I just figured, you know what? As a elder millennial or baby Gen Xer, I feel like it's important for us to get our voices out there and start talking a little bit about more substance. It's not just about, you know, the me culture of, you know, look at me, look at me, look at me. I think it's more important to really look inside yourself and discover who you really are. And ask yourself questions. And ask yourself questions about the world. You know, contemplate your place here. And find out what gives you joy. You know, what gives you energy to do every single day. And pursue that with everything you got. So, I mean, this is the very beginning of my journey. This is my first video that I'm recording, that I'm going to be sending out to everybody. And I'm going to try to keep this going. And I think it's going to be more of an introspective, me walking around, checking out the world, and trying to really keep it to discovering yourself, discovering who I am, discovering and helping other people ask themselves questions and maybe question the nature of what they've been taught. So I really encourage you to subscribe to my channel, The Known Wolf. This is my YouTube channel. I also have an Instagram account. It's The Known Wolf 1. And follow me on my journey from Canada to wherever I go. If I can sell my condo, we'll see. I got to sell the condo. To Colombia. It's kind of where my landing spot is. And I'll talk a little bit why I want to go there in particular. There's a lot of reasons why I feel like that's the spot. But if this is something that you're interested in, follow my journey. Subscribe below. And I'll do my best to get out a video, whether it be a video a day or a video every couple days. Just kind of walking and talking. And this is going to be my first videos will be about just being in Toronto, in my life in Toronto. But my next videos will just kind of exploring Toronto and showing you some of the different spots that I like to hang out at. And I'm learning how to edit. I'm learning how to do all these things. So it's going to be that's a journey as well. Trying to figure out a whole new set of skills is going to be interesting as well. And I just think it's important that if you want to get comfortable, you got to get uncomfortable first. So I mean, walking around and talking and watching people look at me, it's weird, but I got to get used to this because at the end of the day, I'll be doing this across the world. South America, but who knows where I could end up? I don't know exactly where I'm going to be. What I do know is I'm no longer going to be working for a corporation, for a big bank. And I know that I'm going to pursue the things that give me joy, things that give me energy, which is traveling, which is learning Spanish, which is experiencing the world and writing about it, talking about it, meeting interesting people, listening to their stories, experiencing wonderful different cultural food, and what it feels like to be in an older, different culture. So it's something I'm really interested in doing. Here we are back at the distillery. Not really much, just right there. So I'm gonna head back to my place here, take a look and see how the painting's coming along. Oh, that's another thing too. Forgot to mention, I'm also a painter, so I'll be posting my different paintings I have on my Instagram, and also I'll be posting it, doing a video walking through all my different paintings so you can take a look at them. If you're interested in any of them, send me an email, and I'll be happy to sell you one. I do have some books that I've written, but I gotta see how I can sell those to you guys, or get them to you. They were written a long time ago, 2013, 2012, 2014, 2015, and some of it, my views may have changed, but there's some great stuff in there that I really, when I go back and read it, it's pretty wonderful. So. Yeah, this is my first official video. I'm going to get this out hopefully today. I think it's August. Oh shoot, what day is it today? I got to double check that. But this is me signing off. The Known Wolf. That's my YouTube, The Known Wolf. My Instagram's The Known Wolf 1. I'm Matt Ross. Follow me on my journey from Canada to Colombia and what I had to do to get there. Thank you. Goodbye.